inspirational and motivational here at Clubhouse. Get a better mindset and set your goals here at Clubhouse. Educational things you need to know here at Clubhouse. Like credit, home, buying loans, and much more here at Clubhouse. The space for education, motivation, and inspiration. Clubhouse. The space for education, motivation, and inspiration. Clubhouse.
Hey, hello, everybody. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Erica?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you can hear me because I do not hear you. There we go. All right, let me hear you again.
Hello.
Yes, hello, audience. Hello, welcome to the Homebuyers Clubhouse, where we go live every Wednesday and every Friday. On Wednesdays, we drop something inspirational and motivational. And on Fridays, we drop something educational. Audience, what y'all doing today? It's Friday. What y'all doing this weekend? Drop it in the box below. But before we get started, let me introduce myself. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I'm a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty. Miss Erica Batts, introduce yourself, honey.
Hey, and I am Erica Batts. I am your home loan chick. I'm your mortgage loan officer. And I am excited to be here. Although today, I'm feeling more like it is Frantic Friday.
You too? Look, I had to play some music to get myself together before I walked up in here. But let me talk about your Friday, honey.
I had an appointment earlier today, and so then I was rushing to get back home. And so, when I tell you coming in hot, today was definitely a coming in hot day. Like, I literally walked in the house probably about 2 minutes ago. And then I'm like, oh Lord, I got to get my computer up so I can get online and like all of that. So now I'm trying to kind of woosah a little bit. But yeah, it seems like this has just been a frantic day for me. But then when I really think about it, it seems like all week things have been just, oh, I got to hurry up and I got to get this done. I got to get this, like all of these things.
Absolutely. That has definitely been my week. Crazy. Yeah. Audience, how y'all holding up? How are y'all holding up? Are y'all looking forward to this weekend? But anyway, today, do y'all hear echo? I just need to make sure before I start talking.
I don't hear echo.
Okay, awesome. Let me go. Let's get it going then. All right, y'all. So today we are talking about some red flags in real estate. I see people posting rentals online. Honest is a huge red flag. And we're going to talk about some red flags when it comes to you buying a house or selling a home. So let me turn down this volume because I'm tired of hearing myself. All right, so let's get started. Let's get it. All right, so you guys know that buying or selling, we know that buying a property or selling a property is a major financial decision, and it's crucial that you are aware of some of the red flags. But before we begin, we want this session to be interactive, so I want y'all to drop some hearts in the box below. Let us know what's going on, what you're doing this weekend. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. But let's get started. So one major warning sign for me that's kind of common in real estate that I've noticed is like these ads that you see on Craigslist or Facebook. One major warning sign is a seller who is unwilling to provide complete and accurate information about the property. They always insist on obtaining all relevant documentations and ask for disclosures. You need to always insist on asking for disclosures and all documentation. Erica, have you seen any or heard of anything like this?
I haven't too much because usually I work with really good real estate agents and, they take care of all of that. So I will say I haven't really had that too much as far as the sellers, not disclosing things.
Right. But have you seen any scams on Facebook? I mean, you see those,
ones
on Craigslist when they're out of the country.
Sell houses that they don't own. So that's why a lot of times, if you look on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com, you'll see they'll post pictures and it will say this house is not for rent or this
Mm-hmm.
house is for sale only. Because I have heard of people who have moved into houses. I
Mm-hmm.
remember there was a story in it was a couple of years ago, but a guy had rented this house.
Mm-hmm.
He had moved in, all of that. While he was moving in, then the owner of the house comes up and is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "No, I rented this house from such and such." And they realized that it was one of those electronic lock boxes where, as long as so you have the NMLS or whatever, you could get
Mm-hmm.
access to the electronic to the little lock box. They had changed the locks, given the man the keys, all of that. He had a contract, and so now this man is out of first and last month's rent plus his security deposit,
Mm-hmm.
and him and his family have nowhere to go. But
Yeah.
these
We
other people, they thousands of dollars they've given to this person, and it had to be in cash, or it had to be a money order, or all of that. So there's no recourse.
Yeah, it was a scam that heard about that was in our class. Hey, Nicole just came in the studio.
Ooh,
Um, it was hold on, let me get this. Hey, Nicole girl.
hey,
How
Hi,
you
everybody.
doing?
How are y'all?
Hey. But
I'm
yeah,
excited to
we
see y'all.
I know
we
we
excited
missed
to
you.
see you too. It's been so long.
We missed you. But we talking about real estate scams, Nicole. Um, some red flags in real estate. But yeah, I just took a class about real
I
estate
miss
scams,
y'all.
and it was one that they had sold the house. The house was sold. They had moved into that property. There were really no red flags. They verified the ID. The person was out of state. But one of the things was suddenly at closing, they had to reroute the country that the stuff was going to. But like I said, they had moved into the property and
Mm.
everything. But the person just happened, yeah.
Now I
Attorney
have seen that.
verified everything and it fell through pretty much. They
Now
closed, they moved
we
in,
did have
but
a client who he got one of those emails like the day before his closing saying, "Oh, these are your closing instructions," and da da da. And he was on his way to the bank to wire the money to that wherever he had got the email from, and it
mm-hmm.
was like, "Hey, wait a minute, you need to contact the attorney's office, not go by the email." And
I
so,
sent
and he was getting ready to wire like $30,000.
yes. I sent 1,000 emails reminding my clients not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Scams. You have a lot of scams. So Nicole, you want to talk about that scam, girl? Welcome back.
Well, we're starting to see them pop up everywhere, even to the point of listings that people from out of state or different countries are now contacting agents to list their
Mm-hmm.
land. We're starting to see it a lot with land. I've seen one with a house, and come to find
Yep.
out they do not own the property.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. It's getting
this
bad.
is
So
really
another red
rough.
flag is when you see this house online, this is a $400,000 house and they're only selling it for like $100,000. So a red flag for that is they're usually asking for a very low asking price. And it's the same thing that applies to rentals. If you know that rentals in this area is about $1,500 and they're only charging $700 with everything included, that's a major red flag.
Now I remember
And
I used to
Yeah.
see that on like especially on Zillow. It would
mhm,
be where the house is now like 80% off and it would say price reduced by $300,000. And it would say, we're because our family has so many rentals, we want to try to give back to the community and we're selling this house to one person for $40,000 or whatever it is. And you're looking at that going, is anybody really going to fall for this? And
but
people do every day.
and how not to fall for
Somebody
is
does.
yeah,
Mhm.
contact a licensed agent. Contact the real estate firm and say, "Hey, look, I want some more information on this property." Because I'm telling you, Zillow, it looks like is real, but anybody can post a property on Zillow. Understand that. All right. So, excessively high asking price, same thing. That applies to that as well. Some things like a negative neighborhood indicators like high crime rates, poor schools, lack of amenities. But listen, y'all, don't let that right there deter you. But you definitely want to do your research whenever it comes to certain things. And some things you want to look for is like a landfill or industrial facilities. So that's the type of research that you want to do before you move in. You can look at this property online, but you can't smell it. And this is what we say when you want to do sight unseen. You can't smell that property. You don't know what's next door. So you want to go out to their property and not make sight unseen offers. Y'all got anything y'all want to add? Because I got to figure out what that means.
I will say I agree with that. I had a person that was looking at a house, and she, she was so excited about this house. When her realtor went to go look at the house, they were like, you know what, we can't. I do not suggest that this may not be something that you do a sight unseen for, because there was the person next door was raising dogs, and so between the smell and the noise, because those dogs were barking all night long. But that's not something that you can see. And even when they had taken the pictures, they had angled the camera where you couldn't see any of that, because it was like, it was junk all in the yard. It was the dogs. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on next door. And so, that was one of the things buying a sight unseen property would, you wouldn't be able to know any of those things.
Exactly. And I want to go. Oh, sorry, Erica. I think I'm lagging over here or something. I want to go back to what I said about the negative neighborhoods and the crime rates, y'all. What I'm saying as far as that, y'all got to do that research. I had a long conversation with someone that called me the other day. Again, we say this a lot. It's up to you to do your own research. That's up to you. We can't, as an agent, we can't determine that for you, because a negative neighborhood, or the hood as some people call it, or crime rates, my high crime rates to you may not mean the same thing to me. So that's going to be up to you to do your own research. Y'all got anything y'all want to add before we move on to selling red flags? No.
I was going to say that if you're doing sight unseen and you ask somebody to go out and view that property, make sure you're seeing more than just the front of the house, the back of the house. Ask them to look, have the camera go down on the street, see what your neighbors' houses look like. Ask them to put you on video before you drive into the community, so you get to see that part, because I think that's a lot of times what's left off of the sight unseen videos. And you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
That's some great advice. All right. So some selling red flags. You have the buyers who's repeatedly asking for a price reduction, a crazy price reduction. They offer a lot of contingencies on unconventional financing terms, failure to conduct proper due diligence, inspections, your home inspections, your legal documents. They're ignoring like issues on the property, like the property titles, zoning restrictions, and homeowners association rules, and lack of knowledge. Whenever it comes to doing this, they plan on buying 100,000 properties, and they're just kind of telling you stuff to tell you whatever that you want to hear. You got to hear this stuff, especially if you're a FISBO, because they could, I took a scam class, and they didn't really dig deep into that. With the buyers offering due diligence. Oh, they want a quick closing. They wanted a quick closing on the property. They do the low due diligence, and then they want a quick closing on the property, and then they try to rent out the property or try to sell the property in some way, and then they back out right before closing, or they don't deliver the due diligence money in time as well. So yeah.
Hey, Jessie Lynn, you said FISBO. Can you tell them what that is?
For sale by owner. For those of you guys who's trying to sell the house by yourself, for sale by owners. Y'all got something y'all want to add to the people that want to sell the home for themselves? My notes are all over the place today. Frantic Friday.
I will say, a lot of times you either have people who are they're pricing it too high, or they're pricing it lower. Like they can get a better price if they were to use an agent, or, they're pricing it based on their emotional investment, not on what comparables will say that it's worth.
I like that. So let's talk about some rental scams before we go, y'all. Some rental scams. We've heard this 1,000 times. They want a deposit up front before viewing the property. You can't see the property unless you give me a deposit. I don't want you wasting my time. So show me you got the money, and then I'll let you see the property. Have y'all heard of that one?
I have not.
Nicole, you heard anybody do that? I have to. Unusually
I
low
think I've
rental
seen it a
rates
lot
compared.
on, yeah, I've seen it on a lot with the rentals.
Mm-hmm. It happens. I've heard some stories like people call, they're looking for a real estate agent that does rentals because they are afraid. And for me, what I do is I don't usually handle rentals, but I'll send them properties to help them out. Like, hey, look, if you see anything you like, just let me know and I can send you the property manager's information because I know it's a lot of scams out there. So that's why I always try to give them properties that's in the MLS versus them on Craigslist and different places looking for properties because they do. Um, People that said they are in another country with the rentals. I'm in another country. Yeah, just go by there. They give you a code. Just check the property out. They allow you access, but you never see them. You don't ever interact with them. So be aware of that. Um, what else? Difficulty arranging viewings for the property. They can't get you in the property can't be shown. All of a sudden, something comes up. Y'all need to look at those red flags because these things are very common when it comes to rentals. Like you said, early Erica, they had the code, the people moved in, or they doing Airbnbs or something like that. Y'all just got to do your research. Make sure that the owner that's on that lease matches the tax record. It's public records. A lot of people don't realize that they can just pull this stuff up online to see who actually owns that property. Y'all got anything y'all want to add? No. Any more scams y'all want to add? Any red flags y'all want to add?
I would say when you get one of the red flags is when you have somebody to see a home and then they say, oh, well, my employer has to, is going to be taking care of this and they're going to they're going to write a check for this.
You said the employer?
Yeah. So that's one that they'll say, especially like if you're in the short term space, you get that a lot.
Oh wow. Oh, you talking about if they're renting the property out as a landlord?
Exactly. So they'll say, "Oh, well,
Yep.
but can you take a check from my employer in order to be able to rent this property?"
Yep.
And that's a scam.
Corporate rentals. That's what I think they call them, right?
Right. Now, if you're not getting any type of paperwork, now sometimes employers do pay for things like that, but then there's usually paperwork that you're going to fill out with the corporation.
Exactly. All right. Y'all got anything y'all want to add? Audience, do y'all have any questions? I'm just checking over my notes. Nicole, you quiet today.
Well, I was gonna say a lot of times if it just don't feel right, then you need to double check it. There's a lot of times where we do things and we know that our gut is telling us something doesn't feel right. If it's that way, then have somebody to double check behind you. I've done it for family and friends and on clients that will call me and ask me a question.
Okay. I like that. I'm going through my notes. So the multiple contingencies for the sellers, we did mention that as well. Um, oh yeah. So we didn't talk about this. We mentioned it. We mentioned it shortly, but just make sure you guys are using a real estate agent to negotiate on your behalf. Because a lot of the times, if you're working with a for sale by owner, or if you're working with these private landlords, sometimes you're working off emotions, you're afraid, they're working off emotions, they're afraid. Your real estate agent, they're that center person that could kind of help you guys and kind of talk each other both sides off the ledge, or try to work things out and negotiate on your behalf, because sometimes the deals they can fall through, but
Mhm.
also a real estate agent can also help you navigate the entire process and look for any red flags, whether you're buying, selling, or renting. If that makes sense. Did I say that right? My echo is really bothering me. So, ladies,
No,
okay.
sounds good to me.
All right, y'all. So moving forward, we should discuss the importance of conducting proper due diligence. Again, includes hiring a professional home inspector to thoroughly examine the property and just make sure that you do your work. And we're going to talk about that later as far as doing your research whenever you are under contract. But definitely hire a real estate agent to make sure that you're not getting caught up in anything. Hire a real estate attorney as well as a buyer in North Carolina. You're going to have a real estate attorney. Please don't have your cousin trying to close this transaction for you guys. If you're working with a for sale by owner, they don't know all the bells and whistles. And this is why it's important to have a real estate agent, an attorney, and a lender to help you guys through this entire process. Make sure you get the disclosures up front and just make sure you know what you're signing before you sign it. Have someone review it. Even if you don't get a real estate agent to help you, get an attorney to help you. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate it. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I am a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty, and you can reach me at 919-818-9854. Erica, introduce yourself, honey. Tell everybody who you are.
Hey, and I am Erica Batts. I am your mortgage lender. You can reach me at 919-608-7916, or you can reach me at ericabatts.com.
And Nicole.
And I am Nicole Crawford. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty, servicing the Greensboro Triad area. And I can always be reached on my cell, which is 336-457-3007.
All right, you guys. You can reach all of us in the clubhouse at www.thehomebuyersclubhouse.com. You can find us on Facebook in our group and on our page at Home Buyers Clubhouse. And you can find us on YouTube at The Home Buyers Clubhouse. We hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.